Welcome to the Golf Kingdom, and it's our Declaration of Independence show. Yes, our 4th of July show. We're going to talk about your Declaration of Golf Independence. And I've got some great stuff tonight to help you be an independent player. And let's bring in our show. As you can see, we're going to start off right away with 2 Build It segments. I'm going to help you build your game and improve your kingdom. After that, I'm going to show you some unique swings. We're going to do some swing analysis of some golfers on tour that have had very, very, very individualistic or independent swings. I'm going to talk to you about your golf swing. After that, it's going to be Talk Nerdy. We got some science to help your game. Right after that, we're going to drop down to some Stranogy, and I'm going to help you be an independent thinker on the golf course. And as always, we're going to close with Time to Rise. Are you ready to build? Because it's time to build here at the Golf Kingdom.
The Golf Kingdom, brought to you by Essentia Insurance, TaylorMade, and Executive Air Conditioning.
Now, let me explain what I mean by your Declaration of Golf Independence and what we're going to specifically do on the Golf Kingdom today. So, for example, in our strategy segment, I'm going to talk about on-course strategy and how you have to think differently as a player. You can't just kind of run with the crowd. But when it comes to swing movements, you've got to learn to move your body parts independently. And that's what we're going to focus on today a lot, is helping you understand you have to be able to move one segment maybe and keep another segment still. Or one segment leads and another segment follows. So as we get ready to build in the Golf Kingdom, I'm going to have everybody get up. You're going to do a lot of stuff with me, and we're going to build your game, and we're going to teach you to be independent as you learn to improve here at the Golf Kingdom today. Ready? Let's go. Okay, so it's time to build in the Golf Kingdom, and we're going to work on your setup and talk about an error that I see all the time, and one I've actually corrected on the fly in a tour event. So as we get ready to build here, the problem I see is that, wait a second, this look isn't working here. That's too much. I got to take the helmet off. The wig's fine, but the helmet's just not working. Let's talk about the error now. So we're right-handed people, or we're trail arm dominant people, whether you're a left-hander or a right-hander. And when you set up to the golf club, what happens is your dominant back arm throws out and gets the trail shoulder out and opens your shoulders. Now I'm going to give you an exercise to solve this, but I'm going to talk about how I fixed it at a tour event. So I was playing in a pro-am at Payne Stewart's course on the web.com tour, and I had a guy I was playing with who kept hitting these giant slices. I mean, 50, 60 yards across into the other fairway. And we're going to go to the widescreen, and I'm going to show you the look of what happened here. So when he got set up, he would take his back arm and he'd put the club out like that, and look at how much my shoulders got open. Let me show you with a golf club here. I'll grab a club and put it across my shoulders. So he would put the trail arm out like that because he was a right-handed guy. So he'd put that arm out, and this arm would go down, and his shoulders would be way open, and the club would cut across, and he'd hit big slices. And that's what usually causes a big slice on over the top, is the bad shoulder alignment. Now, here's the problem that happens when I help people at the academy fix this, is they come in, their shoulders are wide open, and I tell them, square your shoulders by turning your shoulders towards me, and they turn everything. So they turn their hips, their chest, everything, and they twist. That's not what happens. We have to learn to move our shoulders independent from our torso and our hips. Now, it's the Declaration of your Golf Independence show. I'm going to show you a surefire way to get your shoulders square every time, or maybe a little closed if you want to draw the ball. Now, let's come back to the tight shot here. Here's what you've got to learn. The shoulders are a bunch of free-floating bones, which is what makes us a good dancer. We get them moving around, wiggling around. So you can move them independently. If I turn this way, watch. I can stand here and pull the shoulder back. I can flip it forward. I can flip that one forward. I can pull it back. So how do we learn to get our shoulders square without twisting everything? Here's the drill, and everybody get up and do this. This isn't all skate. I don't care if you're in Pizza Hut eating pizza, which I know we have people watching in Pizza Hut because I've gotten the pictures. And I don't care if you're on your couch at home. Get up and do this with me. So we're going to stand up straight. What I want you to do is throw your shoulders forward. Just hunch and round forward. Things your parents would never let you do. Round forward. Now, from here, squeeze your shoulder blades real tight. So you got them squeezed real tight. Now, this shoulder, your front shoulder of your golf swing, let it hunch forward like you just had it. Now you're going to bend over, take your grip, and keep this shoulder back, and it'll get your shoulder square. Daredevil, let's come to the big shot. Let me show everybody this again. So I'm standing here. I'm going to pull my shoulders forward. Now I'm going to pull them back, squeezing my shoulder blades together. I'm going to let this front shoulder come forward, see it stick out, but I'm keeping this one back. Now when I bend and bring this arm in, you can see my shoulders are actually a little bit closed now. If you're looking for that draw, you're trying to get rid of the over the top, the big slice, do this drill. Pull them back. Let the front one come forward, bend, keep this one back, and then reach in and keep it back as best you can. And the shoulders will come around and they'll be closed or square. This is how you learn to be independent. Your declaration of golf independence. How to get your shoulders square and alignment. This is a great build-it segment. I do this all the time with players that come in and are hitting slices. Practice this at home, get a feel for it, and then go hit balls with it. I guarantee you, you'll get rid of that slice and build a better golf swing. Now, let's talk about your next declaration of golf independence, and it's going to involve the transition. I get a lot of questions about how do I start down from the top of my backswing. People get back there and they don't understand what's the correct move. Well, everything athletically starts from the ground up, and we have to understand this word. Ready? It's a big long word, and it's going to be across the bottom of the screen. It's called disassociation. Disassociation. You have to learn to independently disassociate your upper from your lower in transition. It's when everything moves together, everything starts together, that you get the over-the-top look from the top of your hair. Everything moves together, and the club gets steep, and it starts coming down, tomahawking down on top of the ball. What does disassociation mean? It means starting, like I said, from the ground up. So we get to the top in our backswing, and we have to learn to move this piece away from this piece. We have to stay here and move the left knee, left hip, and recenter them while holding the shoulder still. So it'll look like this. I'll get back here, and the first move is this move. The knee gets outside of the hip. The hips come back to square. There's a little shift forward to get over the lead leg, but the shoulders are holding still as best you can. That move is the disassociation move. Now, I just showed you the move, but the question is, how do you practice it? What you want to do to practice it is cross your arms. Just simply cross them here. Take your golf setup posture, turn back into your backswing, and from here, hold this still and practice making this move right here. That's the disassociation move we're looking for. Load it up to the right here over your trail leg, and then left knee, left hip, and a little shift to the left. That's your disassociation move, your declaration of golf independence to have a better downswing and impact. Okay, let's look at some unique golf swings now that are really independent. Remember, declaration of golf independence is our theme, and I'm forgetting something here. If we're going declaration of independence, let's get ourselves all put together for this and talk about it here. Okay, so declaration of golf independence, independent golf swings. I've got some great examples of players who have independent swings. They've got their own swings. They play their own game. As a coach, I don't have a method. I teach people. Now, when you look across the golf course, I see a bunch of different people God's made. Different shapes, sizes, different ways they think. If that's the case, everybody's going to swing differently. I don't change golf swings. I improve your swing. I'm all about taking what you've got, what your athleticism has, what your body can do, and making it better. Let's look at some independent swings and come back and talk about this. So first swing, let's bring it up here for everybody to look at. This is number 8 player in the world, Patrick Cantley. A real normal looking golf swing. Nothing unusual about it, but I'll tell you what, it's gotten him to number 8 in the world right now, and this guy is a fabulous player. Now, another unusual swing, we're going to jump over to the LPGA Tour. We've got Lexi Thompson here. Her distinctive little hop move when she gets into the ball, and she can smoke it. This swing hasn't changed much from the first time we saw her when she was a teenager playing and winning on the LPGA Tour. And her coach have pretty much stood by what she does. Let's look at our next swing, our next unique independent swing. Yeah, this is the legend Arnold Palmer. Nothing more kind of independent than this move. This guy was just a slasher. He ripped at it with everything he had. And I'll tell you what, won a bunch of major championships, was a legend in the game, and really popularized the game of golf. But he swung his own swing, and his dad, Deacon, was his coach, and they stuck with it all those years. Now, our next swing, let's look what we got next. This is Bubba Watson here. definitely a totally independent swing. As he comes back, we're going to stop it right there. Stop it. Look how high those hands and arms are. He's just up over his head, reaching for the sky. Bubba's never had a coach before. He goes out and he hits shots and he feels the swing and hits a curve to the right, a curve to the left, hits it low, hits it high. Keep Bubba moving now for me. Here we go. Look how high he is up here. He comes down to impact, lines it up, goes through, and just bombs it. And again, stop for a second. Look at the unique finish to his swing. This back foot never quite totally comes around, but that's his swing. And I'll tell you what, the guy's been a rock solid player and a major champion with his swing. Let's look at our next player coming up. Okay, another individual one, Matthew Wolf, just turned pro. Look at the giant loop he makes, comes through, lines it up, and just rips it. A very, very, very unique golf swing right there. The club comes back and it makes a giant loop to the inside, but he's swinging his swing and he'll probably have a great professional career. A swing that looks very much like an exaggerated version of Jim Furyk's swing. Okay, now, this last one's kind of crazy, and it's called the reverse swing. It was a kind of social media challenge a couple years ago, and I did it on the first try, kind of figured out how it worked, but it's a backwards swing. This is me with the reverse swing. Watch this. Kind of funny. I end up swinging and looking the other way. It's all on the footwork there, but it's the reverse swing. If you can swing your swing, you can do funny things like the reverse swing. As a player, here's what I'm telling you to do. You get with the coach, whether you come see me at my academy or get with your coach, and have them teach you your golf swing. What's the best way you get to impact and hit the best shots for you? And once you've got it, you've got to guard it. Don't be looking around at other tour player swings. Figure out your swing, stay with it, and you'll have more fun on the golf course playing your golf game.
You want a golf tip that will really make this game easier? Okay, here's mine. The fastest way to get good is by finding a great coach. And the fastest way to find that person is through golfchannelacademy.com. It'll match you up with the best coaches in your area.
And now you can even schedule a new student assessment.
So, what are you waiting for?
Schedule a training session with your local coach, Rob Strano from Strano Golf Academy in Destin, Florida at stranogolf.com.
George Washington says it's time to build in the golf kingdom.
Okay, another place where we have to learn independence is in short game. And I see a lot of errors in chipping when players say, you know what, I want a lesson on short game, coach, come work with me on it. And they go over and start hitting chip shots and their hips are flying through and they go through with their body. In chipping, the hips and legs have to remain very calm and still. They don't move and provide power. For those of you that stub chips, which means you get to the ball and you kind of stub it and the ball goes right here, chances are you have this error in that your hips and legs are moving because this is a power source, and when this gets moving, this gets going too fast and the ball goes too far. Well, all you know is the ball is going too far and too fast, and you've got to slow this piece down. So what do? The hips go fast and the club goes slow, and you do that and the ball goes plunk 2 inches forward. This is what you've got to learn. You've got to learn to move the upper independent from the lower. Here's your drill. I'm going to grab my Bubba Whips alignment stick. I'm going to run it through my belt loops here, right on the front of my pants, right through my belt loops. And I'm going to learn to chip and stay on this side of the stick. So as I chip, I'm going to keep my lower body still and never run into the stick with my hips as I go through. So you can see when I come through, if my hips go, I'm going to hit the club and I'm probably going to miss the ball. Keep this nice and still. Lift the club back with your arms, drop it with your arms, and turn it through with your chest. Keep the lower part still here. Once again, alignment stick through here. Keep your hips and legs still. You'll find you'll control this and hit a ton better chip shots as you learn to get independent from the upper to the lower. Well, it's time to build your knowledge about the science of the game. And we're going to talk about something not real complicated, but something you really need to know to help you understand how to hit the driver. Now, I'll give you a quick story to help you understand how this is tricky. One thing we're going to talk about is called gear effect, and it's how the club face of the driver twists. And a couple years ago, I had another coach that was shadowing me, and he wanted to learn how to be a better coach. And I was working with a player on driver, and they were hitting slices a little bit to the right, and I got it straightened out and went in the course. And that player hit one off to the right on the golf course, and I looked at the coach and I said, okay, why did that ball curve to the right? And it was a trick question. He went through 2 or 3 swing errors, and I kept shaking my head, and finally I said, gear effect. And he just kind of dropped his head. It was a simple answer. And by gear effect, I mean when you don't hit the driver in the middle of the face, the club face twists. So let me explain gear effect. We're going to bring up gears here on the 60-inch monitor, and you can see as this gear turns this way, this gear goes that way. They don't go the same way. Now, how does that apply to the club face? And I've got my tailor-made twist face example here. So when I hit the ball in the heel, see how the face twists? See it twist? When I hit it in the toe, it twists. If I hit it on the bottom, it rolls down. If I hit it on the top, it rolls up. So what happens is when I hit it here, it twists that way. Think about your gears. I hit it in the heel, this twists that way, and the ball spins off the other way. 2 gears coming together, the ball will spin off that way. So if I have a driver and I hit it in the heel, the ball will curve off to the right. If I hit it in the toe, the ball will curve off to the left. Gear effect is very important because you may just miss the sweet spot by a centimeter, and that causes the ball to curve. But you know what? You made a really good golf swing. Now, we're going to jump to the blue screen and have some fun with this and show you some data about what happens when the gear effect occurs on an off-center hit. Come on. Well, it's our Independence Day show, and as golfers, we like to hit golf balls in the golf course, but we have dreams of hitting them in some crazy fun places. And one of my favorite places in America is the one behind me, sitting on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, looking across the reflecting pond at the Washington Memorial. And I've often sat there and thought, how cool would it be to hit a driver there? Well, I'm going to do it today, and I'm going to show you the launch monitor data of a gear effect shot in the heel and toe. Here we go. Here comes the first one. I'm going to catch this right in the heel. It should curve off to the right. Nice little smooth swing. Let's see what our data says. There goes the ball. Curved off a little to the right. You can see it wasn't right down the middle. It went off to the right. That's what happens when you catch it in the heel. The ball doesn't go straight. It goes off to the right. Now, let's tee up another one here in front of the Washington Monument. Now let's hit one in the toe of the club, and you'll see it gear effect the other way. Here we go. Got it teed up. Smooth swing. I'm going to hit it out on the toe, and we're going to have one curve back the other way. Here we go. Smooth swing. Let's see what it does. See, that ball goes off to the left. That's what happens. If I hit it here or here, the ball won't fly straight. So you've got to understand, you can make a good swing, and the science of this club will make the ball curve a crooked direction. So hit it in the toe, watch the club spin. It goes that way. The ball goes the opposite way the club spins. Remember our gears turning together. If I hit it in the heel, it goes the other way, and the ball will curve to the right. So keep in mind, as you're practicing, if you're missing the sweet spot and the ball is curving, it's just the club sometimes. It's not your swing. So gear effect, it's our talk nerdy 4th of July stuff to help your game here in the Golf Kingdom. Alexa, open Golf Kingdom.
Welcome to Golf Kingdom. Here's your golf tip of the day.
Welcome to the Golf Kingdom. I am your host, Rob Strano, and here is today's Pro Pointer.
Alexa, stop. If you want more pro pointers from me via your Amazon-enabled skill at the Golf Kingdom, be sure to go there and enable it. Every day I give you a new tip, free, with your Amazon-enabled device. So enable the Golf Kingdom and you'll get a tip from me, your host, Rob Strano, every day. Golf is mainly about strategy as you try to get around the golf course. And in the Golf Kingdom, we talk about Stranogy, my way to help you navigate the golf course and the obstacles out there. And I'm going to share with you some experience I had as a tour player that'll give you a little understanding of how to move around the golf course. And there's 2 things you can't fall into as a habit when it comes to playing the game. Number 1 is try to avoid playing the golf hole the same way every time. Now, if you always play one course all the time, It's a bad habit to tee the ball up on the same spot and try to hit the same shot, especially if you struggle on a hole. The other thing is peer pressure. Your buddy hits driver. Your other buddy hits driver, and you get up there and you hit driver. And you know what? You get in trouble. You don't play the hole well because maybe you don't like driver on that hole. Let me give you an example from tour. I'm going to bring up an image here on the 60-inch screen. This is a golf hole on tour at Reflection Ridge. It's a short par 4. It's about 360 yards long, but let me explain the strategy on this. You've got a fairway bunker here and a couple trees that pinch the landing area, and then up by the green you have 2 trees that squeeze in tight, a front bunker, and then the green is kind of perched up on top of a little hill. So this hole screams just send it down there and knock it as close as you can and try to flip it up on this narrow green. Well, when I played this event on tour, I played it with a 4-iron down in here and then a wedge to the green, because the last thing I wanted to do was get it behind that tree or that tree and end up looking at having a problem making par. Because if you got it behind those trees and tried to knock it on the green, you could get in the front bunker, and because the green was perched up, if you missed it to the sides, it was going to be a tough up and down. So what did I do? I hit 4-iron here. I hit it about 10 feet behind the hole and almost made birdie. My playing partners both hit driver, and they struggled, struggled to make bogey because they got behind the trees, got in the bunker, got off the side of the green. Stranogy. Figure out your best way to play the hole and play it that way. Then when you have to navigate these tight little shots, you'll have more success and won't give in to the peer pressure of your buddies. Now, let's build a better putting stroke and talk about being independent with your body parts when we move. It's a small stroke that doesn't involve a lot of movement, and I've got a great drill to help you calm down all the moving parts, especially when the lower body gets active when we putt. I see a lot of leg and hip movement when we putt, and I've got 2 drills I'm going to show you to help you calm that action down. Now, I'm not sitting on a stool for no reason. Daredevil, come to the wide shot. One drill you can do to calm the lower body movement is use a stool or a chair. Get your rear end up against it and take practice strokes. You can use a wall. Get yourself up against it and practice taking strokes and keep both cheeks calmly against the back of the chair or the wall. You can practice this at home. You can practice it at the office if you've got a little earbud phone thing. Just practice standing still and not moving anything from the hips down. Now, let's roll this out of the way and talk about how we can do it using an alignment stick. So what we want to do is grab an alignment stick here, take it and put it on your left hip or your front hip. And you can actually hit putts and do this. I'm going to take it and lean it right against the seam of my pants here. I'm going to put that right on the edge of my hip, and I'm going to get set up. I'm going to aim, and I'm going to try to hit putts and not move the hips. There we go, right in the middle. I'm keeping my hips calm, my legs calm, and I'm only moving everything from up top. That wouldn't hit the other ball. It was right in the middle, keeping everything nice and still. Boom, I hit that ball that I made twice after making it. So put the alignment stick right there. Practice taking putts and keeping it still. Don't let it fall. If I move my hips, I dump it on the ground. This will be your declaration of golf independence to putt better here at the Golf Kingdom. Well, it's time to rise at the Golf Kingdom, and in America it was time to rise in 1776. We the people stood up and formed the greatest nation on the earth. And I've had fun tonight with the Founding Fathers theme and giving you your Declaration of Golf Independence. But you know what? It isn't 1776. It is 2019. So let me talk to you about what I want you to take away tonight in Time to Rise. I want to challenge everybody out there to be a difference maker in America now. Go make a difference in someone else's life. Make a difference in our country. Right now, we got a lot of complaining going on and not a lot of doing. And that's no good. It doesn't happen just in the regular world. It happens in the golf world too. We got a lot of people complaining, a lot of people tearing each other down. I would rather we lift everybody up. Be a difference maker. Remember this saying, a rising tide lifts all boats. I want you to reach down and pull people up to where you are. I want you to do what the Founding Fathers did in America once we established the country. They went about making it the greatest country. So I want you to reach out to others. I want you to challenge yourself to become a difference maker. Go make something great. Be great. Take a dream you've got and say, you know what, I'm going to give that a shot, and go out there and live that out and be great. That's what we've done in this country for all these years. If we determine ourselves to be a great place, that's why everybody wants to come here, because the opportunity is great. That's my challenge here as we close down the Golf Kingdom and our Founding Fathers Declaration of Golf Independence show. Go out there, be a difference maker in the lives of others, and I'll tell you what, you'll help make this a great country. Thanks for tuning in to another fun episode of the Golf Kingdom, where we've talked about your Declaration of Golf Independence. Be sure to jump out there on social media and check out all kinds of other cool stuff. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Go check out the Golf Kingdom there. Also, visit thegolfkingdomtv.com to see more inside stuff and get more tips. Something new that's really cool to check out is go to your Alexa device and say, Alexa, open the Golf Kingdom, and you will get a daily tip either in video or audio format from me to help your game. That's a really cool way to get a tip every day. Also, if you're interested in improving your game, go to stranogolf.com and sign up for a lesson or give a lesson as a gift. I'd love to work with you or a friend or family member to help you have more fun. And remember, here at the Golf Kingdom, it's time to build.
The Golf Kingdom, brought to you by Essentia Insurance, Tailor Made, and Executive Air Conditioning.